Hi. So I want to show you around and tell you about my Airbnb in Daet. So right now I'm in Daet. It's in Camarines Norte. It's the capital city of Camarines Norte, and this is my Airbnb. So let me turn around my camera. How do I do that? Okay, so here we go. So that's the entrance. That's the entrance door. And look how many locks they have here. So this is one, and this is another one. And then they have this one, and they also have one here. So you can press on this one. So something like 4 of them. But the door itself, I think that with a sledgehammer or even with a normal hammer, you can just break it. But that's what we have here. And over here we have an air conditioning unit, and here we have the window. And this window is outside. And here we have like a small porch, a small balcony, and we'll see it in a second. And here is a big mirror. Hello. That's a big TV. I don't really know how many inches, but if I had to guess, something like 46, something like that. And some ornaments. And this broom that you can find anywhere in the Philippines. And I never understood why they make the handle so short, because it reaches hardly my hips, somewhere like that, above knee height. So it's extremely uncomfortable to use these ones, but that's what they have here. And everywhere in the country, this is what they use. And what's good about this apartment is that it has 2 bedrooms. So this is the first bedroom. It's a small one, but it's nice. And here they have like a fan, an electric fan. And here they have a big cupboard, but it's closed. You cannot use it. They locked it. They store here stuff of their own. But it's nice to have, but unfortunately you cannot use it. And this is the bed, a very comfortable bed. This is the one I used. Here's the CR, or comfort room. We'll see it in a second. And here is the second bedroom, the one I didn't use. This one has an air conditioning unit, a second air conditioning unit. And here they have this type of fan that I never understood, because they sell these ones in all of the markets all over the country. But what's the idea here of not protecting the wings? I mean, isn't it extremely dangerous? I know. For me, as someone who has never seen any of these outside the Philippines, it looks extremely dangerous. Accidentally, you just, push your finger here while it's turning quickly. I know. It looks quite dangerous to me, but they are quite common here. I didn't use this fan, of course, not for me. Anyway, this is the second bed. And this bedroom is very small. I think maybe even smaller than the first one, but it's nice. You have the separation of the 2 rooms. So here in the middle, you have the CR, another mirror. Here's the toilet, and you have a shower with a water heater. Now, the water heater works. The problem is that there isn't enough water pressure, because there is a water interruption, so there isn't enough water. Anyway, here's the fridge, and as you can see, it's a big fridge, very nice. So you have the freezer on the top, and then you have the fridge itself. And they even provided me with some drinking water. So you just press here, and it's like a pump, and it pumps the water from the jug itself. And as for the kitchen, they have this gas cooker. It's connected to a gas balloon, I guess. I don't really know where the connection is, but yeah, it's here in the back. And here they have rice cooker. And here, this room is like, I don't really know how to even describe it. There is a washer that I don't know if it works. And here they have another water storage. So this big storage of water is especially for cases of water interruption, because I think that they are quite common here. So when there is no water, you use the water from here. So we have water for a few days. And here, it's open. You don't even have a window here, only this net. And it's sort of connected to the houses of the neighbors. And it's raining quite heavily right now. And here at the front, you have this this porch, this balcony. I don't know the exact word, but here it is. It's very nice. So this is where the hosts were waiting when I arrived. They were waiting here. Let's take a look at the street. So you can see the chicken standing in the rain there. Doesn't look like a lot of fun, but at least they are not shouting at the moment because of the rain. So I took this Airbnb for 2 nights, the night that just finished and another night. But to be honest, I think that I'm leaving this apartment today, and I want to explain why. So first, how much did I pay? So I paid, I have it written here, I paid 3,100 Philippine pesos for 2 nights in this apartment. And I think that it is good value for money because the apartment is big, it has 2 bedrooms, it's very well maintained, it's very nicely furnished, very nicely decorated, it's very nice. So in this regard, I think that this is good value for money. So why am I leaving early? And this is on me. I mean, I'm not saying that anyone else here is at fault. This is completely on me. But I think that what I didn't understand from their listing is that staying in this apartment sort of assumes that you own a motorcycle, that you have a motorcycle here. And this is because this apartment is inside a subdivision and it's very hard to arrive here if you don't have a motorcycle. So what I did, I arrived here from Naga. I took the bus from Naga, and now it's quite funny because when you arrive to the area of Daet is quite long. It stretches over quite a long stretch of road. And you have the first neighbors, such as this one, you could say the south of Daet, and then it moves on and on to the north. And I didn't really know when I need to get off the bus. So eventually, at some point, I just got off. You know, the guy that's on the bus, he said that this is the bus terminal, something like that. And I said, okay, I just get off the bus here. When I got off the bus, it didn't look like a bus terminal at all, let alone the main bus terminal of the town. It just was a bunch of jeepneys and several buses and a few vans. So I didn't really understand what I was seeing, but okay, at least I was in Daet. And it was a bit early yet. So what I did, I took a tricycle. So I looked around with Google Maps and I saw that there is an SM City mall not too far away. So I said, okay, I'll go there, spend the time there until my check-in time. And they wanted to charge me 80 pesos, but I didn't want to pay 80 pesos. And I think that they just expected me to just pay the 80 pesos and go. But I didn't really want to pay 80 pesos. So I just stood there and stared at him, hoping that he will suggest anything else. And he did. There were two of them, two drivers, and they explained in a bit of broken English, but not more broken than mine, that if you go alone, it's 80 pesos. But if you're willing to wait to other passengers, it's 20 pesos each. So I said, okay, I am willing to wait. So I waited, and I didn't wait too long, less than 10 minutes, and other passengers arrived, and they didn't all go to the shopping mall. They were going to all places around the shopping mall, but it was fine with him. So he took me to the shopping mall and I only paid him 20 pesos. And I stayed there for a while until I came here. Now, outside of SMCT Daet, there is a small tricycle terminal. So I went there and then I told them that I need to arrive here. Now, here I am in a place called Harmony Village. This is a neighborhood inside a barangay of Daet. The barangay itself is called Mancruz, and Harmony Village is inside this barangay. And as I said, it's pretty much at the south end of Daet. Now, when the guys at the tricycle terminal heard that I was going to Harmony Village, they looked surprised and oh, this is a very expensive ride. And it was 100 pesos. And I thought to apply the same trick again. So I said, okay, I'm willing to wait. I will wait to other passengers. But eventually, it was a bunch of them. And eventually, they explained me that there was very little point in waiting because it's far away from the center. And if they're going here, it's only to take me because few people arrive here to this neighborhood. So if I waited to other passengers, I would be paying 80 pesos, but if I go alone, it would be 100 pesos. So I just paid the 100 pesos and they took me here. Now, when we arrived here, it's quite a big neighborhood. It's not small at all. And the driver of the tricycle, he saw the dogs. There are quite a few dogs here, and he told me, beware of the dogs because they don't know you and they might bite. So be careful. So at the beginning, I thought that I just tell him to drop me off, somewhere in the neighborhood and I'll walk. But after he said that, so I looked more carefully at the instructions of the host and I told him exactly which row it was in the neighborhood and which house in the row. And he took me to the very house. So the instructions were very good, but after he warned me, I felt much less comfortable. And when I arrived here, there is a mom and her son. They rent out the place. And they were extremely accommodating. They were really welcoming. It was a really good experience. They were nice, they were polite, and they showed me everything. And then they explained me about the water interruption. And they said that they have these jugs of storage just for these cases, but it's not perfect because, for example, the water heater, you need enough water pressure for it to work. And when there is a water interruption and you rely on the jugs, on the storage, there isn't enough water pressure, so the water heater doesn't work. But this is to be expected. This is the province. And then I asked them about the dogs. I said, okay, where can I buy things? Where can I buy groceries? And if I walk there to the places where I can buy groceries, are the dogs dangerous? Are they aggressive? And the son of the owner, he said, sort of, well, if they don't know you, well, they might be. And from that moment, after the tricycle driver told me that, and after the owner of the apartment said sort of the same thing, I didn't feel comfortable at all. And since I arrived here, I didn't get out of the apartment. So call me a coward if you want, but I don't want to run the risk of being beaten here. I know that people that live here, they are out all the time. They are on the street all the time, and they don't get beaten. But the dogs know them, and the dogs don't know me. And that's why I think that this apartment is great, great value and a great place if you have a motorcycle. But to be honest, I wouldn't come here if I knew all these things. Luckily, I only took it for 2 nights, so it's not a big deal. But it's not the most pleasant experience anyway. I think that locals, I think that they don't write explicitly in their listing because I think that locals sort of know it. They know that if you go to a neighborhood that's outside the center, it's going to be this way. You are expected to have your own transportation. I didn't know it. So for me, the bottom line is that if you have your own transportation, this is a good place to stay. And if you don't, I'll have to recommend against it. Also, the problem is that if you want to take a tricycle from here to the mall or to the town center, you need to take a tricycle there, and you don't have tricycles going here. You need to go to the entrance of the neighborhood, of the village, and from there you need to take a tricycle. And to get there, you need to pass 3 or 4 dogs. And it's probably going to be okay. Okay, I don't want to say that they are going to bite you. No, they're probably not going to do anything. But I'm not willing to take the risk. So all in all, great apartment, problematic location.